Today I'm gonna talk about, like, first, when I was first gonna title the video, I was gonna title it, "Do people take women serious?" And I was like, you know what? The real question is, do women take women serious? Because women be saying some crazy stuff sometimes, but nobody really analyzes it that much. You know, you'll just say, well, that's just women. Because, I mean, recently, there was this women's march, and it used to be titled women's a million women's march, and it's supposed to be associated with Farrakhan. And I guess it was supposed to be, oh, we don't know, it was going to be a million black women, but they retitled it and they called it Women's March. Now, so because you look at the march, it was mostly like privileged white people, basically, and then like black people scurried, I don't know, a little bit in there. But basically they got they canceled their march and renamed it this march. And the people that's in this march was basically feminists and people who don't know what they're doing. Ignorant people, basically. Like I said, they ain't stupid, they're just ignorant. They don't know what they're doing. They just there, they have no idea what this march is. And if you look at the signs, there was some crazy graphic stuff. Mostly pro-abortion stuff, tampon stuff, all this craziness. And there was like this little rally thing, and they were talking. It had, I think, Ashley Judd there. She said a bunch of dumb stuff, something about tampons or something. Like the government's supposed to be paying for tampons. I was like, yeah, my mom was like, come on, man, you're taking it too far now, man. Because like real women, they look at this stuff and they're like, wow, you looking at men look bad. But of course, feminists don't care. You know, as long as they're getting members and people are donating, they don't care how ignorant people are. But anyway, so then you got Madonna up there saying, oh my God, women be saying some crazy stuff, man. But like I said, do people take women serious? And yeah, men take women serious, but women don't. That's the problem. Women can say crazy stuff, and then we just excuse it. Women just excuse it. Oh, they're on PMS, or they're having their period or something. And the problem with making statements like that is we don't even know. Most men don't even know what PMS even is, or even a period. I mean, I learned late. But anyway, so here it goes. Madonna, over 50, says, yeah, I thought about blowing up the U.S. government. No, he said blowing up the White House. I was like, wow. What man could stand up there and say that and get away with it? Or get, took it off in handcuffs or something. No way a man could stand up there and say, yeah, I thought about bombing the White House. No way. He will get put on the terrorist watch list in a second. It's like that. But yeah, the reason why she can say that, people say, well, maybe she could say it because she was a celebrity. Nah, I would bet if a regular woman went up there and said that same thing, nobody would have took her serious. Why? Because people don't take women serious. They don't think they have any power. So here you got a million women show up in a march, and people still think women don't have power. And then the women themselves don't think they have power. That's how they know they can make statements like that, or any type of crazy false statement, and it wouldn't bother them at all. Because women don't think they have power, and men don't think they have power. So that's why they can say crazy stuff, do crazy stuff. And like I said, there's no way a man will go, if a man go up there and say that, no way he will get away with it. But because she's a woman, hey, we don't take her serious. That's why they can say crazy stuff, do crazy stuff, and nobody takes them serious. Now, there was a case, I think it was recently, where this woman on Twitter, I don't know if it's Twitter or Facebook, she made this comment. She said, when is somebody gonna assassinate the president? You know, it was like a lot of them, basically a bunch of ignorant, uninformed people that just getting on the bandwagon. Now, she was arrested. Because you can easily track stuff like that. I mean, you can easily track them. You can get their IP address. Once you get your IP address, they can find out where you live. It ain't that hard for them to find you. Now, the thing is, the problem with women is that they don't know. You don't really want to be equal, because that was equality right there. That woman was taken seriously, just like a man would. And that's what equality means. Equality means same. If you're saying that you're equal to men, that means that you have equal responsibility. So you can't just keep blaming stuff on we're just women, or you know, we're on PMS, or she wasn't in the right mind. You know, it's how when women murderers do things, they always say, well, we don't know what she was going through. You get these millions of excuses. She wasn't in her right mind. You know, her husband did this. And most of the time the girls they ain't even married. But anyway, so the women, they get millions of excuses, because we don't take them serious and they don't take themselves serious. But a man murders somebody, man, they don't give us no type of excuses, because we have power and we take on responsibility. And because of that, when we do bad things, we get punished. Now, people say, well, even if women commit crimes, they still go to jail. But the problem is the perception of how we treat women in the society. So even though that person's going to jail and we forgot all about the person, because a lot of times women stick up for people, but as soon as they go to jail, we forget all about them because we get back to our lives. But when we get back to our lives, we get back to society. So how we treat women after the fact is important. How we treat men after the fact is important. So if women want to be equal, you're going to have to take on equal responsibility. Because the same way we treat men, if they don't pay child support, and we call them deadbeat dads, well, it's going to happen with women too. We can call them deadbeat moms. The same way we blame the man for not taking care of their kids, we can do the same with women. Now let's analyze this march, because the Million Women's March, that one actually made more sense, because a lot of those women, black women, they come from like really bad, messed up neighborhoods, really crime infested neighborhoods. So they have something to complain about. But they ain't doing a good job either. So I guess people forgot about them, because they ain't doing so good either. They got some crappy mothers in their neighborhood. Well, most of the time, yeah, they got some crappy mothers going on in their neighborhood, picking thug boyfriends and stuff. Anyway, so you gotta ask is, okay, in the march, what were they asking for? We gotta analyze, what are they trying to get? I think, well, it was two things. They was mad about the abortion thing, and they want the government to pay for their tampons, I guess. And something about periods, and I don't know. Why are you even talking about that? I mean, women having periods for the beginning of time. I mean, it's like, what? He said it's the government's right to pay for our tampons. I was like, no, they don't. And government is a new thing. There hasn't always been governments. So that's not a right. What are you talking about? That's not. But anyway, we're getting into some crazy territory. But I'm gonna get back to the whole what are they asking for. But let's get to. Here's the problem. When you give the government a right to your body, it's over. Because why do you think in China they can dictate how many children you can have? Because the government has a right to your body. So because of that, they can dictate how many children you have. In North Korea, because the government has a right to people's bodies and wealth, the government can dictate how much money you have. That is the problem. And if the government dictates that they don't want you either, then they can take you out too. If you're saying that you have no problem with killing babies, and then you give the government a right to your body, eventually the government's going to say, well, we don't need you either. We can get rid of some of y'all. What gives you the right to take a life? If you give that right to the government, they have no problem taking your life. Because now they can dictate, hey, well, we got rid of 500,000, black babies, which actually happened. But we can say, well, we can get rid of half of you women too. We got a problem with you women being, there's too many of y'all women. Y'all outnumbering all the men. Y'all going to outnumber us in a second. So we need to get rid of half of y'all too. So we're basically we're destroying the moral fabric of society, and we're making it okay for us to kill babies. Because at first it was I think it was like first trimester or something like that. The baby was just like a sperm or something like that. It was killing that. But they was fighting for the other trimesters where you can be 3 months into the pregnancy and you can kill a baby. And that's at that point, that's a baby. That's a life. You're dictating what you think a life is. So, and in a democracy, majority rules. If the majority rules that you should be dead, then we have the right to take you out. So you don't want that. Another thing is the first part of what the leftists was still trying to get is they're trying to get rid of free speech. Now the problem with that is as soon as you censor my free speech, the next thing is they're gonna censor your free speech, and that's how tyranny start. They first start out where they take away a little bit of rights, like they said curfews and stuff like that. They do stuff like that, but eventually they're gonna take away your right to express yourself, your right to say certain things, say certain words. Do you know why certain words are curse words? It's because at first these are freely said words, but the government or the king or queen, whoever it was, would dictate something as a curse word. So at first, people used to worship Yahweh and all that stuff like that, or Jehovah and Thor and all that stuff like that. But if the king didn't want you to worship these gods, but they wanted you to worship them as gods, then they would make these words curse words. So now you can't say them because they're censored. So censoring usually comes from tyranny, stuff like that. Censoring isn't as bad in America, but I guarantee you that like you can't say certain words in Arabian countries or Asian countries. Try to say anything about the president, or try to make a joke about the president and see what happens. It ain't happening. So yeah, you don't want to take abortion that far, because soon enough The government's going to take it to the next level, and they're going to be aborting you in a second, aborting you from the planet in a second. If you give rights, if you give the government a right, give a authority over your body, and eventually they're going to have authority over your life. I'm glad Trump is in there, because that ain't going to happen. Like I was saying in the last video, I'm glad y'all don't run nothing. Because we'd be all dead by now if y'all was running stuff. So I'm glad people don't take y'all serious. But the thing is, now we're going to have to start taking these people serious. Because they're saying some insane stuff. The stuff they be saying about, you know, abortion, and you can kill a baby, and now they dictate. Now you can you saying that because the baby's in you, you have rights to it. Like the baby has no rights because it's in me, it's my property. What? That's like slavery. Because it's on my property, in me, I have all rights, and this baby has no rights, and I can kill it. That's slavery. So yeah, we gotta start taking these women serious, because they are insane. And if they were men saying this crazy stuff, man, they'd be in jail in a second. So at first it was funny, you know, it was cute, the stuff women be saying, they be doing, but it ain't funny no more. They are saying some insane stuff, and we gotta start taking them serious, because they are crazy. And I'm glad these people don't have no children. Oh my gosh, this stuff they be saying they're gonna do, they're gonna let their kids be trans and all this crap. They're gonna give their kids that don't even know what's going on with their body, and you be getting them hormones and crap, sex changes and mess. Oh my God, these people should be nowhere near children. Sad things that they are. They got children out there protesting stuff, don't even know what they're talking about. Don't even know what they're fighting for. Good thing is their kids, they're going to grow up and they're going to find out this stuff is stupid and don't need to be taken serious. So we got to be individuals, stop being groups, stop being group thinking. We should start taking these people serious. These people are crazy. The crazy thing is that these people are walking around, and I don't know. I mean, you might find these people at a bake sale. That's how normal these people are now. Usually you can point them out. You can point out a crazy person, but now you can't. I mean, you might see them, you know, riding your bike or whatever, riding your car, going to Walmart. You might see them. You know, they might be crazy, but yeah, women say some crazy stuff. Yeah, we need to start paying attention to what they're saying, because it's some gruesome stuff, the stuff they be doing and saying. But you know, yeah, you're gonna be alright though. I mean, all you gotta do is just, if you know any women or whatever, you probably do. If you know any women and they say some crazy stuff, just say, you know what? Just ask them, do you think a man can get away with what you just said? And he'll say, no, of course not, because yeah, we take men serious. So yeah, that's all you got to do. It just, you know, if you see a person say something crazy, just ask them. What if a man said that same thing you just said? Would people take him serious? Of course they would.